Hi friends, I have here two kinds of white baking flour, and one of them I try to avoid, and the other I use to make this little roll. I have tried desperately to get my family to stop eating flour, but they won't do it. Now, I personally try not to eat flour products because it just makes me eat more calories faster. But my kids, they're not overweight. So do I really need them to stop eating flour? Yes, I do, because processed food companies, they hide chemicals in flour products. Let me read you the ingredients of this bread. Enriched unbleached flour, malted barley flour, water, butter, margarine, which is made out of palm oil, soybean oil, salt, natural flavor, soy lecithin, beta-carotene, vitamin A palmitate, buttermilk powder, honey, sugar, yeast, canola oil, vinegar, enzymes, ascorbic acid, a dough conditioner, and sesame seeds. And they think this is healthy. So I've been on a quest to find them better bread. And I found this brand. Let me read you this. So this is made out of organic sprouted wheat, filtered water, organic sprouted barley, organic sprouted millet, organic malted barley, organic sprouted lentils, organic sprouted soybeans, organic sprouted spelt, organic wheat gluten, yeast, and sea salt. So this does sound much healthier, but the problem is they won't eat this bread. So I have to meet them in the middle. And I found this bread. This bread has unbleached whole wheat flour, water, more unbleached enriched flour. It has extra virgin olive oil, sour starter, evaporated something, and then salt. And the problem is they're not really eating it. So there's some mold growing on it. Now, in the meantime, I'm trying to upgrade their nutrition. And that's why I made this bread without them knowing that I'm upgrading their nutrition. So I made this roll with one of these flours and these three other ingredients. These are all whole food. I have here a block of tofu, a sweet potato, and some flax seeds. Now, I'll let you think about why I added these three ingredients. But first, let's talk about why flour is not so good for your metabolism. Well, to be clear, it all depends on the flour. In this cup is all-purpose white flour, also known as plain flour, refined flour, bleached flour, or unbleached flour, still white, but not chemically treated. Enriched flour, that means it's refined flour, and they add some vitamins and minerals to it. This is also a type of bread flour, which is white flour that has higher protein. It's used for baking. Or cake flour, which is ultra fine with low protein. Still white flour, ideal for cakes. Could be pastry flour, a soft white flour with medium protein for pastries. Or they can add some baking powder to it, or baking soda, self-rising white flour. They usually have salt in that too. This could be 00 flour, Italian style white flour, finely milled and used for pasta and pizza. Or T45 or T55 flour, a European classification for finely milled white flour. Or this can be called maida, which is used in Southeast Asia. It refers to still a refined white flour or a soft wheat flour used in some Asian cuisines for noodles and pastries. Now, can you believe that they have so many names from an ultra processed food that's made out of the endosperm of a grain? This is basically pure starch. And I'm sure many of you have grown up eating some of these flours. I've eaten many of them. And what is wrong with all of these flours? Well, simply put, this is the foundation of ultra processed foods. These flours are ultra processed themselves. That means the original nutritious parts of the grain have been removed. This is not a whole grain food. This is just an endosperm. There are two other parts of the grain, the germ and the bran, that are missing in this food. The bran covers the endosperm, this starch, as well as the germ. Now, the bran is where the fiber is, and the B vitamins and the antioxidants are, as well as some beta-carotene. And just by switching your refined flour to a whole grain flour, which is in this bowl, you can reduce your risk of diabetes, lower your blood sugars, lower your rate, improve your cholesterol, and improve your overall vascular health and increase your health and lifespan. Now, isn't that incredible? This is because in this bowl is an ancient whole grain flour called spelt. It's a type of wheat. I've been trying to eat more ancient whole foods because ancient cultures ate these foods and they are ancient for a reason. They are still alive today for a reason. Ancient grains have been left practically unaltered, unlike modern wheat. And the vast majority of wheat in your grocery store has changed due to breeding. Now, there are no genetically modified wheat or GMO wheat sold in the USA. This is not genetically modified. But if you are eating this kind of flour products and all you care about is whether or not it's genetically modified, well, you've missed the boat. This is worse than being genetically modified. I'd rather eat a GMO whole grain than to just eat the endosperm or the starch of the grain. Because if I don't exercise enough, I can't work this off. And I don't exercise enough. I'm a physician and I'm a YouTuber. So I have to make sure that every food that I eat is surrounded by a capsule of fiber to delay the absorption of the nutrients in the food, whether it's fat, starch, or protein. And this is why simply switching your refined, ultra-processed floury foods, whether it's in bread or cake, to a whole grain flour product like this, or if you want to make it yourself like this, you can improve your metabolism and help you lose weight. But if you are worried about genetically modified foods, then you should be concerned about eating wheat from other nations, because wheat from other nations may be genetically modified. Now, the brand of this wheat is where the fiber is. I have here another ancient grain, Kavit. Do you see this color? There's nothing white about this color. This is not white. No wheat is white. So you should be suspicious when you're eating white colored foods. They have removed something from the plant. They've removed vital components that your body needs to stay healthy. And this is why the American diet is missing fiber. 90% of all of you watching this video or more is lacking fiber in your diet. We should be aiming at least 30 grams of fiber a day, but we're barely hitting 15. 9 out of 10 people you know are not eating enough fiber in their diets. And fiber supplements, they don't count. There's nobody that I know who's healthy and requires a fiber supplement. Fiber supplements enable people to continue to eat poor diets. The thing is, why would I pay for a $30 supplement when I can buy real food that costs a fraction of that supplement? Now, whenever you eat any kind of highly caloric food, which is either fat, starch, alcohol, sugar, protein, it's really important to always eat fiber with it. And when you eat fiber, especially when you eat soluble fiber, that is in this bottle of flax seeds, you form a gelatinous matrix to trap all those calories, to slow it down so that you give your body time to metabolize it. Now, have you ever felt overwhelmed by work? Sometimes no matter how hard you work, there's still more work to be done. And if you own your own business, your business may go under if you don't get your work done. Well, guess what? You do own your own business. You own your own business of health. And when you don't take care of that, well, your metabolism will tank. So if you shock your system with too many calories, your business of health will go under. Your metabolism will suffer. And when your metabolism suffers, that means you're aging, you're slowing down, you're going to be packing on fat, you're going to get insulin resistant, you're going to have higher levels of blood sugar, higher levels of insulin, and that comes with higher levels of inflammation. Now, if you only ate refined flours once in a while, it's not a big deal because this business is actually miraculous. You have safety tricks and your body knows how to heal itself. But if for every day, every meal, you're inundated with calories from highly processed, ultra refined foods, well, your muffins, breads, donuts, cakes, they're going to catch up to you one day. And you'll be in so much metabolic debt. It'll be like a credit card debt. So every time you eat things made out of refined flour, you can be sure that you are collecting a metabolic debt. And unlike a credit card debt where, let's say you declare bankruptcy and then you can start all over. There is no declaring bankruptcy when you're in metabolic debt. There's no such thing as being able to just declare bankruptcy and start over. When you eat ultra-refined processed flours, it's like a student loan. It will go with you to your grave. And hence, it's really important that you pay back that debt every day by choosing not to eat these products. So I learned early on when I started to work that you have to pay yourself first. So that means when you get your paycheck, you have to set aside money for your retirement first because nobody else is going to take care of that for you. So to get out of metabolic debt, you have to pay yourself first. And how do you do that? With fiber. Every time you eat fiber, you are getting yourself out of debt. And over time, your fiber will pay dividends. Because when you eat foods high in fiber, you not only build your fiber wall to slow down the absorption of calories, you will also poop some of it out so that you don't actually absorb all the calories that you eat. So I can technically eat more food if I eat whole grains than if I eat a refined product, just because there's fiber in it. When you learn math, 1 + 1 is always 2, right? But when it comes to nutrition, that's not true. Because when you eat something like fiber, you also get other added benefits. There are nutrients attached to fiber. So take flaxseed, for example. Did you know that flax seeds are known to protect people from cancer? So this is why I eat this daily. And so does my 90-plus mother-in-law. I lived with her for 8 years, and she would always ask me to buy ground flax seeds so that she could sprinkle them on her morning oatmeal. I have here whole flax seeds. Have you ever tried chewing on whole flax seeds? Not easy to digest, so I do grind it up before I eat it. Flax seeds are high in polyunsaturated fats and therefore are prone to getting rancid easily. But polyunsaturated fats are special because these fats are alpha linolenic acid that gets converted into DHA and EPA, two essential omega-3 fats that your body needs to heal and reduce inflammation. These flax seeds are also packed with anti-inflammatory lignans, a type of phytoestrogen known to reduce the risk of breast cancer by 20 to 30%. Now, your body is constantly fighting inflammation. It's normal to have. It's a normal part of life. You wouldn't be alive unless you had some kind of inflammation. But regulation of inflammation is just as important to keep cancer in check. There is a type of pro-inflammatory cancer-promoting molecule in all of us called IL-1. Your body makes receptors against IL-1 called IL-1 receptor antagonists to stop cancer growth. Cancer chemotherapy drugs like tamoxifen, as well as all natural flax seeds, about 25 grams, they both increase your body's ability to make IL-1 receptor antagonists. And hence, I eat flax seeds daily. In addition, when you eat flax seeds, you are feeding your microbiome. Flax seeds have microbiotic accessible carbohydrates. Your gut microbiome converts these fiber into short-chain fatty acids to feed your colonic cells to help you poop. Now, have you heard of serotonin? 90 to 95% of the body's serotonin is produced in the gastrointestinal tract by enterochromaffin cells with the help of your gut microbiota. Now, serotonin actually regulates your intestinal motility. It allows it to move and to digest. It also sends messages from the gut to the brain via the vagus nerve. It also maintains your gut barrier integrity. And this is why everybody needs to eat more fiber. Now, serotonin can also leave your gut, enter into your bloodstream, where it can help with blood clotting. When you get a wound, it can help regulate blood vessel constriction and dilation. Now, these short-chain fatty acids, like butyrate, they also influence the brain by modulating the serotonin receptors in the central nervous system. This is why eating fiber with your flour is healthy and why refined flour is not. Starch is not healthy, whether it's white flour, tapioca starch, cornstarch, etc. If you need to eat this, then you need to be able to work off the calories. But you also need to be able to eat other more nutritious foods. Now, the last part of the wheat kernel is the germ. And when you eat an ultra-refined wheat product, there's no germ. I actually go out of my way to buy the wheat germ. And there is an important reason for why I eat wheat germ. It's because I want to get the spermidine. Now, spermidine is a naturally occurring polyamine found in wheat germ. It plays a critical role in autophagy, which is the body's process of cleaning out damaged cells and regenerate healthier ones. Now, this function is essential for maintaining your youth, your cellular health, and when you age, that process is slowing down. Spermidine has been linked to an increased lifespan in various organisms by improving their mitochondrial function and reducing oxidative stress. So it enhances the body's ability to maintain and repair itself at a cellular level. Now, if you care about your brain, you gotta eat wheat germ. Spermidine protects neurons and may reduce the risk of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. It also aids in maintaining cognitive function as you age. So how about your heart? Well, the number one reason why people don't make it is heart failure. And unlike your brain, where you can take a break and go to sleep, your poor heart has to work 24/7, 365 days out of the year. And so this is why you have to have good blood pressure.
Hi, friends. I am so thrilled that you want to take charge of your health and take charge of your food. Now, I know nutrition can be complex, but it doesn't have to be. And I'm here to support you in this lifelong journey. So if you point your camera app to this QR code, it'll take you to a link for a free handout that I created just for you. And if you like it, if you want to see other handouts, please go to the link in my show notes, and then you can leave me your feedback on what I could do to help you in your journey. Okay, back to the video now.
Spermidine can help you lower your blood pressure, reduce arterial stiffness, and improve overall cardiovascular health. Ultimately, high blood pressure causes inflammation. So this is why I go out of my way to eat foods that are anti-inflammatory. So when I eat spermidine, I'm helping to counteract act and combat chronic inflammation that's associated with aging. And if you have any form of mitochondrial dysfunction like arthritis or diabetes, you should consider adding spermidine to your diet. The bottom line is none of us are getting any younger. And what do kids have that adults don't? Well, they have the innate ability to heal and repair. I mean, remember falling off a bike when you were a kid, getting all scraped and cut up, and the next day it's as if nothing happened. But that doesn't happen to people as we grow older. It takes us longer to heal. And that's another reason why I like to eat spermidine, because it helps promote the healing of my skin and the growth of my hair. Basically, if you can improve how your cells can regenerate, you can improve your skin elasticity and texture, and you can grow more hair. And hence, that's why I eat wheat germ. Now, I didn't even mention the other nutrients such as vitamin E, a potent antioxidant that works synergistically with spermidine to reduce oxidative stress. I would never take that by itself, but I love to get it in my foods. B vitamins, critical for energy metabolism and DNA repair, and zinc, which helps to boost your immune function and aids in tissue repair. Oh, did I mention it also has phospholipids, which also contribute to your cell membrane health. Now, when people age rapidly, their body's autophagy is impaired. It's just like your house. If it's messy, you have a lot of trash, you're not going to be able to get things done. But if you clean up your house or if you clean up your car, then it runs more efficiently. And this is like an old car. And I can't take it to a mechanic, but I can't take food to it and activate autophagy, the body's natural process of cellular cleanup and repair. So it's going to just break things down that don't belong there and recycle it. And if you don't do that, you get dysfunctional protein and a lot of cellular debris or cell trash. Now, autophagy is essential for maintaining cellular health, for energy production, and for longevity. And it can help us prevent diseases such as cancer, neurodegenerative conditions such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and metabolic disorders. Now, when you activate autophagy, you are clearing out the junk. It's like spring cleaning. And after that, doesn't your house just look better? Well, your house will function better. But there's lots of other things that can activate autophagy, especially if you're allergic to wheat. And this is done through your lifestyle. Now, fasting has been shown to increase autophagy, but you got to do it beyond 24 hours. So my question is, why would you do something that causes you muscle loss? And when you're going to fast that long, you're going to lose muscle. You also lose the ability to eat essential non-caloric nutrients. To me, this is like the credit card company giving you reward points for hotel stays, but you owe them tens of thousands of dollars. It makes no sense to me. I would never do that because it takes a long time to build muscle, and muscles are your number one protective metabolic organs. Besides, hotels don't cost that much money, so I'd rather pay for a cheaper hotel and not get in credit card debt. Caloric restriction can also activate autophagy, but it's hard for me to restrict processed foods made with this kind of junk because it's designed to make me eat more junk food. But if I eat this kind of food, like my bread, it has fiber with it, as well as a whole host of other nutrients, that I will automatically eat less calories. And I made this small to restrict my calories as well. Essentially, I'm trying to help my metabolism by eating more fiber. And when you do this, you'll lose more weight because you simply eat less food. You'll also increase your metabolic rate because you don't have enzymes to digest fiber, but your gut microbiome has. So I'm essentially consuming fewer calories, getting more essential nutrients. But another way to activate autophagy is free, and that's exercise. Both aerobic and anaerobic exercise can activate autophagy. And the more intense you exercise, the faster that autophagy happens. But you can't overdo exercise and hurt yourself. And if that happens, then you may not be exercising for several months like my friend who decided to join boot camp. Unless you're in the military, joining a boot camp, well, that just sounds like a great way to generate business for orthopedic surgeons. And the most important way to activate autophagy doesn't require you to move a finger, and that is sleep, especially deep sleep stages. That supports cellular repair and autophagy. So that means if you're snoring or you have obstructive sleep apnea, you have to get that addressed. It's also important to sleep before midnight. And I admit I am one of those night owls, so I too have to retrain myself to sleep before midnight. And don't forget, your food makes a huge difference in activating autophagy. And that's why in this bread, I added tofu, which is made out of soybeans. Now, in addition, I also added ground walnuts, which I forgot to bring. Walnuts have omega-3 fatty acids, just like flax seeds. And soybeans, well, they also have spermidine. And the last ingredient in this bread is this sweet potato. Take a look at this color. This is beta carotene. This is basically the precursor molecule to vitamin A. So when you eat sweet potato, you're actually eating pre-vitamin A. It's found in a lot of foods. The body then converts it to retinol. Now, vitamin A is critical for maintaining good overall health. Its primary roles include vision, especially for night vision, because your retina actually has to be made all the time and requires vitamin A to have a healthy retina. That's where you see. So vitamin A combines with opsin to form rhodopsin, a protein necessary for low light and color vision. And deficiency can lead to night blindness. And in severe cases, you can have xerophthalmia or dry eyes and corneal damage. Believe it or not, your fastest growing cells are your immune cells. So you need vitamin A to support the production and activity of your white blood cells to help you fight infections. Rapidly dividing cells like your mucosa, whether that's in your respiratory tree, digestive tract, or urinary tract, they also need to repair and they need vitamin A. So if you have enough vitamin A, it reduces your susceptibility to infections and all these surfaces. Now, deficiency is linked to impaired immune response and an increased risk of infections. Deficiency is actually quite common in developing countries because they don't have enough of beta-carotene rich foods. But it can also occur here due to poor diets, such as eating ultra-refined flours, or if you have malabsorption syndromes, or if you're not eating. And I mentioned night blindness, also dry eyes, corneal ulcers, and frank blindness can all occur. So if you're getting more infections, especially in the respiratory and gastrointestinal tract, you may want to look into your vitamin A intake. Now, on your skin, if you have a vitamin A deficiency, it can get rough and scaly. It's due to epithelial dysfunction. And the people who are at highest risk of vitamin A deficiency are pregnant or lactating women, younger children due to their nutrient needs, and people with malabsorption syndrome such as inflammatory bowel diseases or with celiac disease. Now, everything has a therapeutic window, including vitamin A. Vitamin A toxicity is called hypervitaminosis A. Since vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin, it can accumulate in the body and cause toxicity, especially from high-dose supplements or excessive consumption of animal liver, or if you're taking a medication. So if you're acutely toxic, you can get nauseous, dizzy, you can have blurred vision, headaches. If you have chronic toxicity, you can have liver damage, hair loss, bone pain, dry skin, and in severe cases, you can even have birth defects if you consume it during pregnancy. Now, if you overconsume beta-carotene, then you can have keratinonemia, which makes your skin very yellow, kind of look like a carrot, but that's not harmful. However, if you eat whole foods to get your vitamin A and your beta-carotene, you're actually not going to look like a carrot, but you're going to look healthier and more attractive. In fact, research has shown that those who ate more plants were more attractive to people than those who didn't. And your skin will be physically stronger because you're going to get lots of other vitamins besides vitamin A. And we're not just talking about your skin on the outside, we're talking about your skin on the inside. So if you want to repair your leaky gut, you have to have enough vitamin A. Literally, dermatologists will give you a vitamin A derivative to treat acne called retinol, and it does work. But the kicker is, if your diet was rich in whole food plants and you minimize ultra-processed foods, then you wouldn't get the acne to require the retinol. Acne is not a rite of passage. Not everybody in the world gets acne. But if you grow up in the US and you're eating the standard American diet, the SAD diet, full of ultra-refined products, well, you most likely will get some acne. And that's how I know when my kids are eating too much junk food. Now, there's a fine line I mentioned between a healthy dose of vitamin A and too much. So that's why when you're on retinol, they tell you not to take any other vitamin A and they tell you not to get pregnant. So women can't get pregnant while they're on retinol, and men can't get women pregnant if they're on retinol. It can cause serious birth defects. But don't forget, vitamin A is still required for normal development of your embryo and fetus, and it supports spermatogenesis in men and normal reproductive cycles in women. These are antioxidants. Everybody needs them because they help to neutralize free radicals to reduce oxidative stress, which all lowers the risk of chronic diseases like heart diseases and cancers. And you may want to take it as a supplement. While outside of a whole food matrix, taking a beta-carotene supplement may be detrimental for your health. Now, both of these flours have gluten, and I know lots of people want to or need to avoid gluten. So if you want to learn about other grain alternatives, watch the next video.